A domestic violence case took a dangerous turn over the weekend. The friend of a victim is now sifting through the burnt remains of her shed and part of her home. The victim herself is in hiding, and the suspect is behind bars. The fire happened after months of death threats, damage to other family members' properties, and a failed restraining order. We spoke to the homeowner affected by that fire, a close friend of the victim, whose only fear now is that this suspect won't stay in jail for long.
This was a shelf, and this was my daughter's fort. They played in every day down here, kind of under the shelf.
Now their books, toys, and countless other sentimental items lay charred and unrecognizable.
My grandpa, he was a musician, so all his tapes were in here. All his devices, all my dad's stuff was in here.
Dawn Mills Mata's shed went up in flames early Sunday morning.
The neighbor came and woke us up. She said, "Dawn, your shed is on fire."
And it quickly spread to the edge of her home, feet from her sleeping 7-year-old daughter.
I had to drag them out of bed. We were dead asleep. Everybody was dead asleep. They were screaming, they were crying. I dragged him by his foot.
The worst part is, she feared something like this was coming and knows who was behind it.
She said, "Who did this, Mommy? Was it Uncle Eric?" And I had to tell her, yes, it was Uncle Eric. Nobody else would have did that.
Investigators charged Eric Christian with arson and aggravated stalking. He's the husband of Mills Mata's longtime friend, who she considers a sister.
I knew he was, a little controlling, but I didn't realize the extent of the damage he was causing her mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
She had been staying at the house since February after she opened up about years of domestic abuse.
It breaks my heart because so many women go through that and they go through it alone. And the fact that she's just such a wonderful person, she doesn't deserve that.
Mills Mata caught what she says is Christian's car on her Ring camera circling the neighborhood minutes before the fire.
That could have been my children. That could have been the rest of the house. That could have been our lives.
Christian's wife has a restraining order against him, but documents show he's ignored it several times in the past few months. Mills Mata says her house wasn't his first target.
He has vandalized her dad's home. He vandalized her cars. He vandalized her work at Haltom Orthodontics. He is on a pattern, and it's escalating. What's going to be next? Who's next? Her mom's house? Who's next? Her friends' businesses? He has a pattern, and he's on a mission.
KOB4 public safety expert and retired APD Commander Paul Zeich worked domestic violence cases for 8 years. He says arson, paired with a lack of acknowledgement of a restraining order, is a scary combination.
You're dealing with an individual that's not only able and willing to more than likely cause great bodily harm to anyone that would be between them and this person that they're fixated on, but they're very likely to.
Zeich says if he's willing to commit this crime, investigators and those in the court system need to realize he'd be willing to take it a step further.
To me, this is the tip, the very tip of where you would be setting somebody's house on fire prior to killing them. And it really needs to be viewed that way.
But if he gets out, somebody's going to die. He will kill her. He's on a mission, and he is going to hurt somebody.
Eric Christian is scheduled to have his first court appearance tomorrow. At last check, the district attorney's office has not filed to keep him in jail until trial, so he could be back out on the street soon.
Hello, police department.
This call starts like so many others.
We're here to check on a kid, man.
Officers met Philip Valencia at the door to a northeast Albuquerque apartment near Wyoming and Central on October 29th.
Who lives with you? Huh? Who lives with my mom? Your mom? Yeah, she's in the hospital right now.
That was Valencia's first lie.
Well, it's me and my girlfriend.
Still, no mention of the kid. Valencia goes back inside to get his girlfriend.
We got a call that there's a kid in this apartment.
My son?
Yeah, your son he doesn't look well. So that's why we're here to check on him.
Yeah, he fell off the bed the other night, so he's kind of bruised up a little bit.
That will be the first of many times she mentions her son falling off the bed. The female officer explains they'll have to check for food, running water, and a safe place for the boy to sleep inside.
We're gonna have to check on the kid one way or another, bro. So you can make this harder or you can make it easy, dude.
They head inside the dark apartment to look around.
So the lights working?
I just have them off because my bill's so high.
Seconds later, they see the young boy for the first time. His mom carries him out of a bedroom. She tells officers they're welcome to look at him.
Like I said, he's crazy, he jumps.
They want to talk to you.
He rolled off the bed.
This is where things start to escalate.
Are you taking my son? Give us some blankets. Hey, wait.
Freeze, don't start.
No, you're taking my son, dude.
Video shows the mom snap on the female officer.
You can't do that. You can't do that, though. You can't do that.
The same officer then shifts her attention to the little boy, now in the back seat of a CYFD responder's car.
Can I see your legs, baby? Can you show me your legs?
The officer reported she saw severe bruising on his stomach, chest, and legs.
How old are you, baby? 5.
You're 5.
What's your name, buddy? 5.
Your name is 5. You're silly.
She took a break after that interaction. The call clearly taking an emotional toll. First responders arrived to take him to the hospital, while the other responding officer tried to get a straight story out of the couple.
You took my son! I don't want to talk to you!
You want to talk to me?
No! I want my son, you son of a...
I'm gonna have your son back.
You want to pet me?
Seriously, what's his name?
It's Natalie!
Later identified as Natalie Size. She tells officers the boy's biological dad is the one responsible for the abuse.
You want to take my kid from me when I'm not the one abusing him, dog? His dad does.
The biological dad told police he hadn't seen his son in 2 weeks prior to the police response. He also said Size admitted to spanking the boy and uses illegal narcotics. Police took Size into custody that October night for attempted battery on a police officer. Child abuse charges against both of them weren't filed until days later. Documents show Size and Valencia both have a history of domestic violence. Both have had cases dismissed in recent years. A judge already decided Valencia will stay in jail until trial, and Size, the mother, is scheduled to have a hearing tomorrow where a judge will decide whether she'll do the same. There's also still the question about whether CYFD knew about this boy and the family prior to that night. A family member told police she filed a report on October 20th, but CYFD reps say they never got a report on or before the 20th. Reps confirmed to us today that boy is in CYFD custody. This South Valley ditch bank has always been full of good memories for siblings Marisol Sanchez and Nick Rivera.
We walked on the ditches, played, rode our bikes. It's been a part of our life growing up, always catching crawfish.
But now they know it as the place where they almost lost their mother, Elvira Rivera.
She remembers going on a walk, and then she remembers sitting down to rest.
Just like any other day, on a route she's taken countless times.
It's a normal walkway for my aunts, uncles. They all live down here, and we all always have walked through here.
But that normal routine took a turn last week. Sanchez got a very abnormal call
from a social worker at UNM Hospital saying that if I knew Elvira Rivera and that they had her in the hospital, she was in an accident.
A Good Samaritan found her on the ditch bank with serious injuries to her legs.
Her legs were mauled. They were completely destroyed.
Rivera had to get her left leg amputated above the knee, and her right leg is now held together with pins and screws. Investigators from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office say there were large tire tread marks on the ditch bank road that appeared to be from mobile heavy equipment. The family says they've seen large tractors doing work in the area and using the ditch bank road. We even saw a pair of tractors traveling on the main road close to where it happened.
She's, of course, as you could imagine, doesn't understand how something can happen like that. She's mentioned, how could someone just have left me?
We would just like someone to come forward and be held accountable for this.
Guerra, Rivera's granddaughter, turned to social media to help try and find out what happened. She got thousands of reactions on TikTok.
This is gonna be something that's gonna change all of our lives, and especially hers.
Accident or not, somebody is responsible for what happened, and it's gonna change all of our lives. My mom's the most, and we just want answers and accountability.